Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to We Serve India National Awards, an initiative by Forbes India in collaboration with Lions Clubs International. Tonight, we have come together to celebrate the spirit of service and honor individuals who have dedicated their lives to making a difference. From empowering women and educating the underserved to conserving our environment, protecting wildlife, our finalists tonight represent the very best in humanity. Without further ado, let's set the stage for an evening of celebration, inspiration, and gratitude. Now, for over a century, Lions Clubs International has been at the forefront of global change, shaping a better world through service. Whether it's in healthcare, education, environmental sustainability, or social empowerment, Lions have worked relentlessly to uplift lives and create a lasting impact. Before we begin tonight's celebration, let's take a moment to reflect on their incredible contributions.
In a world of challenges, there are those who choose to act to bring hope, kindness, and change. Lions Clubs International is a global network of volunteers, serving with compassion, generosity, and dedication. In India, for over 70 years, Lions have addressed critical needs in education, healthcare, disaster response, transforming lives across the nation. With 1.4 million members across the globe, Lions are united by a shared purpose to serve and uplift communities. Our initiatives align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, tackling challenges like poverty, inequality, and climate change. Through our LEO program, we empower young leaders to create change, fostering skills, confidence, and a lifelong passion for service. We amplify our impact through strong partnerships with governments, other NGOs, and corporations, driving meaningful progress together. Together, Lions have made a measurable difference, restoring sight, empowering families, and strengthening communities. Lions Clubs International, we serve. Join us and be the change the world needs.
Well, a big round of applause for all of you. This initiative isn't just about awards. It's about recognizing and amplifying the work of change makers across the nation. Now, the journey spanned across 4 zones. We started in Guwahati, the East Zone, Kochi, South Zone, Surat, West Zone, and Chandigarh, North Zone, culminating here in Mumbai for the very grand finale. Now, these change makers have already made their mark at the zonal level, and tonight they stand before us as national finalists, driving India towards a brighter, more compassionate future. Let's take a look at their incredible journey.
Selflessness is both the hardest and the simplest choice to make, and those who embrace it to serve the nation deserve to be celebrated. With this vision, Lions Clubs International and Forbes India came together to launch a nationwide movement honoring changemakers who are shaping a better India through selfless service.
Media has the outreach, and that's what prompted us, that's what encouraged us to have this partnership and a collaboration with your network so as to reach out and acknowledge those individuals who may not be members of our, or rather essentially are not members of our organization, but are also making a very strong impact on the communities and on the society in our country.
To ensure that every impactful effort was recognized, we opened nominations across 4 zones, giving individuals from every corner of India a platform to be acknowledged. From grassroots initiatives to large-scale impact, the response was overwhelming, proving that the spirit of service knows no boundaries. With so many extraordinary nominations, selecting winners was no easy task. A distinguished virtual jury panel comprising experts and leaders from diverse fields came together to carefully evaluate and honor the most deserving individuals across 6 categories. The zonal awards weren't just ceremonies, they were celebrations of service, bringing together dignitaries, thought leaders and change makers who stand as pillars of hope for a better tomorrow.
This is the recognition everybody is looking for, people who are working silently, relentlessly, working hard. So this recognizes our efforts and hard work.
Looking at the context and complexity of the population, it is important to recognize good practices. And I must congratulate the Forbes for taking up this initiative. I think it will be disseminated and it will have, very good impact on the future generation.
And now, the journey reaches its grand conclusion with the We Serve India National Awards, where the finest change makers from across the country come together on one stage. This isn't just an award, it's a validation of years of dedication, perseverance, and the unwavering belief that change begins with action. Join us in applauding these change makers for their selfless service. Forbes India We Serve India, presented by Lions International, celebrating Indians who selflessly serve India.
And now, to set the tone for the evening, I would like to invite a visionary leader whose dedication and drive to the service and social impact sector has made a lasting difference. She has played a very important role in driving transformative initiative across communities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Lions Sangeeta Jetya, past International Director, Lions Clubs International, for the opening address.
Good evening, distinguished guests, esteemed award winners, our Lions fraternity, and of course, our most valued partners at Forbes India. What an honor it is to stand before this wonderful gathering here, where we've come together to celebrate service, leadership, innovation, and also those extraordinary change makers who are shaping the future of India. Why should Lions be in a program like this? We are the ones who are doing service, but here we are celebrating those who are actually doing service at the grassroots levels. We are here because we believe we are not only the world's largest service club organization, but for many of us, it is a way of life, the way we live every single day. And here we are partnering with those who are making a difference every single day. It is working with partners, working with innovators, working with change makers that is actually engaged at the grassroots level makes that difference. And that's why, together with them, we would like to change communities. We would like to change the world that we've inherited a little better. It is not only about uplifting others, but it is about making that difference which will actually sustain us as we move ahead. We strongly believe in partnerships, in bonding relationships, so that we can forge ahead, so that we can really make that difference. We cannot work alone. We need every stakeholder to join in. That's why we have the government, we have the news channels, we have social club organizations like ours, and of course, we have those who are working at the grassroots levels. The We Serve India Awards are more than just accolades. They symbolize individuals and organizations who are giving that unwavering commitment to service, who are actually leading with compassion, and who are uplifting communities. In partnership with Forbes India, we spotlight those who have embraced challenges and transformed them into opportunities for lasting impact. Today, we honor those who have dedicated their lives to addressing some of the most pressing issues of our times. Those sustainable development goals that the United Nations and every country in the world is talking about, to those whom Lions are also absolutely dedicated to. So together, we are going to be working with these change makers because they remind us that progress often begins with a single bold step, taken despite obstacles, and sustained through determination, collaboration, and a vision for a better tomorrow. We would also like to thank our esteemed jury, those partners at Forbes India. Thank you for amplifying their voices. Thank you for bringing us together on this platform. Your support fuels this movement, ensuring that impactful work does not go unnoticed, but instead gains the momentum which we believe this partnership will definitely take forward. As we present these awards, let us remember that every recognition comes with a renewed responsibility to continue serving, innovating, and inspiring. Congratulations to the winners. You are the torchbearers of the new India that we are looking at. We wish you all the best, and thank you for joining us today in this very special evening. Let us together pledge to keep the spirit of service alive, not within these walls tonight, but in every community we touch. As Lions International reminds us, where there's a need, there's a lion. And we hope that today will be a starting of another partnership, many more partnerships with these service-minded individuals. Let's enjoy this evening, and let's hear these brave hearts who have made a difference. Thank you very much.
Always such a privilege to hear you speak. Ladies and gentlemen, service is the foundation of a very progressive society, and it is an honor to have with us tonight a leader who has dedicated his life to public welfare. With a distinguished career in governance and deep commitment to the people, he continues to shape the future through his work in information technology, culture, and public service. Please join me as I welcome Advocate Ashish Shella, Cabinet Minister of Information Technology, Cultural Affairs, Government of Maharashtra, for the special address.
Good evening to everybody, and welcome to the city of Mumbai. You can see my voice has literally gone, and the reason is very clear, that yesterday only our assembly session is got over. And since you know that in assembly session, one does not amplify the needs of the people, one only raises voice. But in state of Maharashtra, we have decided to synchronize, design, and plan many more activities, and one of these is promoting, engaging, and partnering with many organizations who do service to the society. The department which I head to is Cultural Affairs and Information Technology. In Cultural Affairs, obviously we always look the people like you, those who contribute and always engage themselves to see what best can be done for the society, through the society, by the society, and for the society. Service, as rightly been mentioned, is a foundation of the good society, but for the good nation also. Here, as a federal government and as a state government, we always try and see that the best of the talent from the larger society, how can make them to be the part of our decision making. And we have seen the change. Obviously, those were the days when the Legislative Council has been formed for the very specific reason that the experts of the societies would be invited to be the part of the lawmakers and lawmaking body. Unfortunately, over the years, even the member of a legislative council, that is a member of the upper house, has been given a birth to political people, and the real talent, people like you who contribute for the society, thinks 24/7 for the society. Those who also day and night only wants to present and give the service to the society is been lacking behind. So in state government of Maharashtra, under our GAD department, we have decided and we have started a kind of a platform where the innovators, the researchers, the experts, the people who contribute to their individual, much close to heart subject by their own service, to be given in a platform where the chief minister to the many first grade officers would be made part of that round table once in always 3 months. So I'm taking this opportunity while congratulating all of you. Please spend your time, give your advice, be part of our roundtable conferences which we hold once in 3 months. We can design the mechanism with Lions where we can get the best of the society. So again, congratulating all of you, thanking so much, and thank you so much to invite me here. Thank you.
Thank you for the encouraging words, sir. I would request you to stay back and also request Mr. A.P. Singh to please come up on stage to present Mr. Shelagh with a token of our appreciation. A felicitation is due. So requesting both of you to stay back on the stage for the first set of awards. Yeah. All right. Today we are starting our awards with a very special category. It's wildlife conservation, which aims to celebrate change makers who have taken active steps to conserve endangered species, restore ecosystems, and promote sustainable coexistence between humans and nature. Now, the winner in this category is a celebrated Bollywood film composer and playback singer. He invested his life's savings in purchasing a barren agricultural hill, and he has transformed it beautifully into a thriving wildlife reserve. Today's Sitabani Wildlife Reserve stands as India's first rewilded, self-funded, private wildlife sanctuary, home to tigers, leopards, and over 350 rare bird species. And the winner is...
In the category Wildlife Conservation, the winner is Abhishek Ray.
Congratulations. With Bolna.
Distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of Lions International and Forbes India, it's a privilege to be here this evening, and I'm deeply honored to get this very prestigious award from you. Just a few words, since I'll use this podium to make my mark for wildlife. What is wildlife? Wildlife, for me, the term, is a deep conspiracy. There is nothing called wildlife in tribal culture. There is nothing called wildlife in ancient Sanatan Dharma. It is life itself. We know जीवन जो इस पृथ्वी का में पाया जाता है, that is life. So even the sparrow which comes outside your window is wildlife. जब आप किसी की ज़मीन हड़पना चाहें तो आपको उसे घोषित करना पड़ता है कि this person is a criminal, put him in jail. So humans, especially the white man, very interestingly coined a term called wildlife so that we could put all those animals in selected national parks, small little islands, zoological gardens, and take over land and water as if all land and water was only for humans to use. So you need to understand the meaning of the real term wildlife. Wildlife is nothing but life itself, life that naturally pertains to this planet, and life that you cannot save only on paper. Without land and water, there is no meaning of wildlife. Just to bring certain perspectives into picture, today 96% of the planet's biomass is human and livestock, which means the animals that we rear to kill and eat, like poultry and cattle. So humans and livestock comprise 96% of the planet's biomass. And the remaining 4% comprises of all the free-ranging wild mammals on planet Earth, which means whales, dolphins, tigers, giraffes, lions, elephants, rhinos, and the heavyweights. The total body mass of those animals is just 4%. So we are actually on the brink of losing all species on planet Earth. And in my lifetime, we have lost, the planet has lost more than 50% of the planet's free-ranging wildlife. तो हम कगार पे हैं, हम ऐसी जगह पे है कि वाइल्ड लाइफ विलुप्ति की कगार पे है. अब इसको कैसे बचाया जाए? जो भी थोड़ी बहुत पूंजी मैंने इकट्ठा की थी by doing music in films, and thankfully I did a couple of large films in Bollywood, and whatever little resources I had, I decided to invest that in a barren agricultural hill which was adjacent to Corbett National Park, in the Corbett landscape. बंजर ज़मीन थी, उस पे पेड़ पौधे कुछ नहीं थे और कॉटन स्लैश एग्रीकल्चर हो रहा था. लेकिन अच्छी बात ये थी कि उसके सराउंडिंग एरियाज में जंगल था. द पेरिफेरल एरिया वाज ऑल प्योर साल फॉरेस्ट, and there were a couple of people trying to do makeshift agriculture in this land. Now there comes man-animal conflict, that when you cultivate in a land adjacent to a forest, how do you explain to the tiger that it's supposed to only eat deer and not eat cows? And how do you explain to the deer that it has to only eat grass and not eat fasal or crops? A deer will eat grass and crops both, and a tiger will eat deer as well as goats and cows. So it was a natural man-animal conflict zone, and that land was screaming to be returned back to the wild. So I did what I could. But again, I would tell you that I could do only 1%. The remaining 99% was done by Mother Nature. So I made some water bodies, fish, insects. They came on their own. I mean, starting from the snake to the wasp, to the bees, to the mighty tiger, everybody used to come and drink from those water bodies. Because water is a magnet for wildlife. आज मैं देखता हूँ कि हाथी दूर से चल के आते हैं, हाथी के बच्चे बेहोश हो जाते हैं गर्मी के मौसम में क्योंकि उनको पानी नहीं मिलता. नदी तक पहुँच नहीं पाते क्योंकि नदी के आसपास की ज़मीन हमने घेर ली है, उसमें वॉल्स हैं. हाथी दीवार तोड़ता है, हम बोलते हैं कि ये हाथी पागल हो गया है. तेंदुआ या बाघ जब कुएं में गिर जाता है, आमतौर पे आप देखेंगे टाइगर्स एंड लेपर्ड्स फॉलिंग इनटू वेल्स. इट्स अ डेली न्यूज़ ऑन इंडियन चैनल्स. Most channels report it as what? Oh, the leopard fell in the well. The tiger fell in the well. These animals see 7 times better than us at night. And they're no fools. They will never fall into a well. They're actually so thirsty that for a mouthful of water, they jump into the well. And then they can't get out. So such is the situation in which, the thoughts of Sita Bani came across. And this is, of course, a very esteemed award. But the first ever award that came to me was in the form of Mother Nature again, because in 2015, a completely wild tigress from Corbett National Park reposed her trust in me and decided to give birth to cubs in that area. When the cubs grew up, it was for the first time in the history of this planet that a wild tigress gave birth close to a private estate, and the cubs grew up and dispersed into the national park around my property. That's what made Sita Bani Wildlife Reserve world famous. I was just the gardener. And this year also, there is a leopard with 2 cubs, which is using the property. And it gives me एक्सट्रीम इनर मुझे अंदरूनी तृप्ति मिलती है जब मेरे बनाए हुए वाटर बॉडी से कोई प्राणी आके पानी पिए. I'm also involved with the Government of India, with NTCA. I've always been a tiger tracker for the National Tiger Conservation Authority. You'll be extremely happy to know. Now, just 2 minutes of the great things that India is doing for wildlife conservation. We are the most populous country in the world. We only have 2.1% of the planet's land area and 4% of the planet's fresh water. In spite of that, we have actually managed to save almost all of our megafauna. You name it, we have it. Tigers, leopards, snow leopards, clouded leopards, lions, cheetahs now, 1,350 species of birds, wolves, wild dogs. There is almost everything that's found on planet Earth that India is bestowed upon with. So India is a natural biotic diversity hotspot for the planet, and India is now making tiger reserves, allocating areas for conservation of not just the tiger, but all the other animals that live under the umbrella of the tiger. And that gets in clean green dollars, because you would be astonished to know that the largest land animal that walks Europe is just the red fox. So in the next couple of years, the remaining planet will have no wildlife to showcase. So if we end up saving what we have, we invite a lot of clean green dollars without polluting our environment, and also हमारी जो विरासत है उसको भी हम बचा सकते हैं. And the Government of India is working very hard on that. I just recently composed the tiger anthem a while back, then the cheetah anthem for NTCA, and then the IBCA, which is the International Big Cat Alliance. Modi ji has just given a grant of 150 crores for the IBCA, and the IBCA headquarters are set in New Delhi. I happen to be fortunate enough to make the branding film and the anthem for the IBCA. The International Big Cat Alliance is a congregation of 96 countries across the world which have big cats. And out of the 7 big cats of the world, India is home to 5 of them, which is the tiger, the lion, the leopard, the snow leopard, the cheetah, and tiger, lion, leopard, cheetah. So 5 of the big cats, apart from the puma and the jaguar, India has. So India is a natural global hotspot of big cats in the world. And I'm sure that with our ancient philosophies of tolerance and protection of all forms of life, India will emerge as a global leader in wildlife conservation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that impassioned speech. All right, we are continuing the momentum and going to the runner-up. His work in urban wildlife rescue is also a proof to the power of individual action in protecting biodiversity. The Kite versus Kite project addresses the devastating impact of glass-coated kite strings, also called the manja, and electrical entanglements on Bengaluru's urban bird species. Now, through daily rescue and rehabilitation efforts, our runner-up has saved thousands of birds. And the award goes to...
The runner-up is Colonel Dr. Nawaz Sharif.
So thank you very much to Lions International and the Forbes India Limited. So I'm part of an organization. I'm a chief wildlife veterinarian at People for Animals Wildlife Conservation Center, Rescue Center, and a hospital which is in Bengaluru. So what we basically do is we rescue the urban wildlife of Bengaluru. So Bangalore has expanded a lot. There is unplanned civilization and there's a huge displacement of wildlife. So we are the only ambulatory wildlife center in Bangalore. So we've been working for 25 years. So we rescue the monkeys, the birds, the mammals, the reptiles due to metro work and new apartments coming up. So there's a lot of huge displacement of them. So we rescue them and we treat them, we rehabilitate them and put them back into nature. So we almost rescued so far 50,000 animals of 230 different species of wildlife. You could imagine 230 different species in Bangalore urban wildlife in and around that. So some of the rare species, we have rescued pangolins. We just released a pangolin last week, civet cats, slender lorises. We rescued a leopard, Egyptian vultures. So we do a couple of unique things in our rescue center, which is not done anywhere, sometimes not in the world also. The first is the imping. We artificially attach feathers. So all this, like the madam was telling about the birds getting stuck in electrical wires and manja. So sometimes they get stuck in 100 or 120 feet into this coated manja. So previously we used to take help of the fire department. When they know it's a bird, they never turn up. So when they turn up, the vehicles can't go into the alleys. So we picked up the technology from the coconut growers from Kerala. We have an interlocking pole which goes up to 100 to 120 feet. So this really revolutionized the way we rescue the birds caught in the manja. So when they stuck in the manja, they flap and they lose a lot of feathers. So then it becomes, bird have to stay with us for 6 months. So what we have done is, like you put up money in the bank, we have a feather bank with us. We have got feathers of 52 birds with us. So we collect the feathers. We have put up collection boxes in the park where people find the feathers they put. So we imp the feathers of the same species. So this is really revolutionizing the bird. So after imping,
Thank you. Wonderful, sir.
after imping, we can release the bird the next day. We also do acupuncture in snakes, which is not being done anywhere in the world. And also, we are now putting prosthetic legs to peacocks, which have lost their feathers due to electrocution. So this is one of the things we do. So thank you very much.
I feel very heartbroken that we cannot listen to everything that you're saying, but Shailash Saab jaldi mein hai. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Singh, I would request you to stay back on the stage for felicitations. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us your time. It is our honor to also have with us a leader who's deeply committed to driving progress and uplifting communities with a distinguished career spanning multiple terms as the member of Legislative Assembly from Ratnagiri. He has been instrumental in driving industrial growth and promoting the rich heritage of the Marathi language. Please join me as I welcome on stage Shri Uday Samant Sahab, Cabinet Minister for Industries and Marathi Language, Government of Maharashtra, for the next set of awards. We will now do the next two set of awards. Now, over the past year, thousands of applications were reviewed and the zonal winners were celebrated. And tonight we are recognizing the champions, one winner and one runner-up across 6 categories. So next up is sustainable agriculture and water conservation, which are the cornerstones of environmental resilience. Now, the agriculture and water conservation category honors individuals who have pioneered innovative methods to enhance agricultural productivity, promote water conservation, and uplift the farming community. And our winner in this category is a true champion of sustainable agriculture, cultivating over 30 varieties of millet and 80 paddy land races. She has helped integrate modern techniques with traditional wisdom and uplifting the tribal farming communities. And the winner is...
In the category Agriculture and Water Conservation, the winner is Remati Guria.
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର ଆହୁରି ମଞ୍ଚରେ ଥିବା ମୋ ସାର୍ମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର ମୁଁ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହିବି ଆମ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ଜଣେ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କେ ବୁଝେଇଦେବେ ମୁଁ ମୁଁ ତ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟିଆ ଗାଁ ରହୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ଆଦିବାସୀ ପରିବାରରେ ଜନ୍ମ କରିଛି କାହିଁକିନା ଆମେ କାଲି ଦେଶୀ ପଦ୍ଧତିରେ ଚାଷ କରେ ପୁଣି ମୁଁ ଆଗରେ ବହୁତ କଷ୍ଟରେ ବଞ୍ଚୁଥିଲି ସେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିନଥିଲି ଆମର ଦେଶୀ ପଦ୍ଧତିରେ ଦାନ କଲେ କ'ଣ ହେବ ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ଭାବିଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ପଦ୍ମଶ୍ରୀ କମଳା ପୂଜାରୀ ବଡ଼ମା ତାଙ୍କେ କାଲି ଦେଶୀ ଧାନରେ କାମ କରୁଥିଲେ ପୁଣି ମୁଁ ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଛୋଟ ଥିଲି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ମିଶିକି ଯାଇକି କାମ କରିବାର କେମିତି ଦେଶୀ ଧାନକୁ କଲମ ଯୋଡ଼ୁଥିଲା ଧାନକୁ ଧାନ ତିଆରି କରୁଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଛୋଟ ଥିଲି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯାଇକି ମୁଁ ଜମିକୁ ଯାଇକି କେମିତି କଲମ ଯୋଡ଼ାଯିବ କେମିତି ଧାନକୁ ଧାନ ତିଆରି କରାହେବ ସେ ଉପରେ ମୁଁ କାମ କରୁଥିଲି ଆହୁରି ମୁଁ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇଥିଲି ଯେ ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନକୁ ବି ଏ ଧାନଟା ଦରକାର ସେଇଥିରୁ ମୁଁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଥିଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ବଡ଼ ହେଇକି ଗଲି ଶ୍ୱଶୁର ଘରେ ଆମ ଶ୍ୱଶୁର ଘରେ ଦେଖିଲି 2-3ଟା ଦେଶୀ ଭେରାଇଟିର ଧାନ ଥିଲା ସେ ଧାନରୁ ମୁଁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଥିଲି କାହିଁକିନା ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନକୁ ବି ଏ ଧାନ ଦରକାର ଆଗାମୀ ପିଢ଼ିକୁ ବି ଏ ଧାନ ବଞ୍ଚେଇକି ରଖିଲେ ବହୁତ ଦିନ ଯିବ ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ଭାବି ଚିନ୍ତିକି କାମ କରିଛି ପୁଣି ଏବେ ବି ସେ ଧାନକୁ ବଞ୍ଚେଇ ରଖିଛି ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ଯେତିକି ଆମର ଚାଷୀ ଅଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ନିଜେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲି କାହିଁକିନା ସେ ବିହନକୁ ମୁଁ ନିଜେ ରଖିବି ପୁଣି ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନକୁ ଆଉ ଚାଷୀକୁ ଦେବି ସେ ଉପରେ ମୁଁ କାମ କଲି ଆହୁରି ପୁଣି ମୁଁ ସେ ଧାନ ମାଣ୍ଡିଆ ଏଯାକ ମୁଁ ବଞ୍ଚେଇକି ରଖିଲି ଆହୁରି ମୁଁ ଯେତେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ ନେଇଥିଲି ସହଯୋଗ ପାଇଥିଲି ଆମର ସ୍ୱାମୀନାଥନ ଅଫିସରୁ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ ନେଇଛି ତାଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ମୁଁ କାମ କରିଥିଲି ଆହୁରି ମୁଁ ଚାଷୀକୁ ବି ମହିଳା ଚାଷୀ ଅଛନ୍ତି ମୋ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ 40ଟା ପୁରୁଷ ଚାଷୀ ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ଜଡ଼ିତ ହେଇକି କାମ କରୁଛି ପୁଣି ଆହୁରି ସେ ଚାଷୀକୁ କେମିତି କମ୍ ପାଣିରେ ଚାଷ କରିପାରିବେ କମ୍ ବିହନରେ କେମିତି ଚାଷ କରିପାରିବେ ସେ ଉପରେ ମୁଁ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ କରୁଛି ମୋତେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ବହୁତ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଉଥିଲା କାହିଁକିନା ଘର ନଥିଲା ଆମର ବର୍ଷା ଦିନରେ ଚାଇ ମୂଳରେ ତୁଳିଆ ମୂଳରେ ଏମିତି ବସିକି ଆମେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ କରୁ ସେଇଟା ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ତ ଆଜ୍ଞା ମାନେ କହିଲାରୁ ମୋତେ ଘର ବି ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କକୁ ଜଡ଼ିତ ହେଇକି ଘର ବି ଗୋଟେ ଦେଲେ ସେ ଘରକୁ ନେଇକି ମୁଁ ଏବେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ ଦେଉଛି ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ଅଛି ମୁଁ ତ ବହୁତ କିଛି କରିଛି ମୁଁ ଏତିକି କହିକି ରହୁଛି ଆଉ ତାହେଲେ ନମସ୍କାର
Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's my honor to voice her translation her voice. I will be very briefing. This is Dr. Gaimati Ghuria. She has made a significant change in her village. She comes from a small village of Koraput district in Orissa. She has worked for conserving 40 millets and 80 paddy varieties. That was the local line races that was going to be really really going to be die, but she made the effort to conserve it in her land, and she makes the change in her village. She has 300 women to train in traditional method of cultivation. She has adopted the scientific technology, improved practices of agriculture from the learned from the Swaminathan Research Foundation, Chennai, and it was her opportunity to work with the foundation to change and save the land races, and it was her privilege to work with the women for agriculture and water conservation. So she is very happy to be here and she is very thankful for this Line International and for India. So she is really doing a great job in our area. Thank you so much.
We may not have time for for interaction right here, but we'll be open to interacting with all the winners when we take a break. Let's move on to the runner-up for this category with deep commitment to water conservation. Our runner-up has led large-scale water body restoration projects addressing one of India's most pressing environmental challenges, and his efforts have restored over 4,000 villages' water sources, benefiting more than 60 lakhs of people, and the award goes to...
The runner-up is Nimal Raghavan.
Nimal couldn't be with us, but we have Jinsi to accept the award on his behalf, so we will have them both here. Thank you. The next category for the evening is educational learning and skill development. Empowering minds through education is the key to a thriving future. Now, this category recognizes those who are transforming lives through education and skill building and are paving way for a brighter, more inclusive future for all. Our winner is a trailblazer in parasports, the founder of Asia's first charitable trust for parasports rehabilitation and training, and he has empowered para-athletes, training over 1,000 injured officers from India's Central Armed Forces, and his work has impacted over 8,000 individuals with special needs. Always a pleasure to have him here. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is...
In the category Educational Learning and Skill Development, the winner is Aditya Jitendra Kumar Mehta.
Aditya is a very, very good speaker. I've heard him at various places, and very humble and modest. But thank you so much, and congratulations once again, Aditya. Now, the runner-up in this category, he has uplifted underprivileged children and ensured education continuity for each one of them during pandemic. A truly inspiring educator. And the runner-up in this category is...
The runner-up is Mamun Akhtar.
Thank you, Mamun Sahab. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Singh, for doing the honors for us. It was wonderful to have you. Joining us now for a very special address is a key leader from Mumbai's civic administration, whose vision and efforts have played a crucial role in shaping a more sustainable and resilient city. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome IS Bhushan Gagrani, BMC Commissioner.
Namaste, good evening. My best compliments to Forbes, Lions International and Network 18. As we know, many of us have an intention and wish to give it back to the society. However, one kind deed is more important than 100 good wishes. So only wishful thinking doesn't work. the actual work and delivering with selflessness and altruism. And that's the today's all these winners. They have been proving themselves over the years. To recognize their commitment, their efforts, I think it is our duty and responsibility as a token of appreciation that we recognize them. That not only gives the encouragement, but the one recognition of altruism may create and seed the seeds for many such people who wish to give it back to the society. So I compliment the organizers and my congratulations and compliments to the winners and the people, those who selflessly intends to give it back to the society. So thank you very much and my best wishes. Thank you.
All right, we now have the next set of awards as well, and felicitations first. May I call Mr. Naresh Agrawal from Lions Clubs International to come up on stage and present Mr. Gagrani with a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much. May I now request Lion Sangeeta to please come on stage for the next set of awards. Sorry about that. All right. Our next category is women's empowerment, which is a pillar of societal progress. And this category recognizes the efforts of those who have created opportunities for women to gain financial independence, talk about financial literacy, and build sustainable careers. Now, by mentoring 8 community-based organizations and pioneering digital financial literacy programs for sex workers, our winner tonight has transformed countless lives. She is a leader in empowerment, and the winner is...
In the category Women Upliftment and Employment, the winner is Ms. Seema Sayyar.
Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. So this is very prestigious, and I'm really honored, out of words, gasping breath. Thank you so much, Lions International, Forbes India, and Network 18, for recognizing the work that we do with a community which is marginalized, stigmatized, discriminated. But I think this is one step ahead where we recognize that they exist. So thank you so much. Thank you, and I take this opportunity to thank everyone, and I think I owe this to the women I serve. Thank you so much.
And let's have a look at the runner-up in the same category, who has trained rural women in sustainable farming, equipping them with skills for economic independence and providing as a true catalyst for change. And the runner-up is...
The runner-up is Kavita Mishra.
Kavita is with us in spirits. Congratulations to her. She's not here with us, but we deeply appreciate her work. With that, thank you so much, Lion Sangeeta, Mr. Nagrani, Mr. Naresh, for doing the honors. Thank you. All right, we now take a little break from awards for a panel discussion. And we talk about how service is not just an act of kindness, it is a blend of vision, strategy, and innovation. And our next session brings together thought leaders who will share insights on how services can be scaled, measured, sustained to create a long-term impact. For this discussion, may I invite the panelists on stage. Put your hands together for Sherin Ali, Global Lead CSR WNS. Satya Natarajan, Lead Volunteer, Aadhar Pune Wala Clean City Initiative, The Engage. Mr. Randir Singh, Company Secretary, Compliance Officer and Head CSR, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. And of course, Mr. Pankaj Mehta, International Director, Lions Clubs International. Welcome. So good to see familiar faces. Sharon, always a pleasure to talk to you.
I know.
And on a subject which is close to both our hearts. So this is fantastic.
Yeah. We met on so many panels together. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the culmination of an award series that has been so close to my heart. I've been associated with this campaign from the very beginning, and this has been nothing short of a masterclass because during this while I have spoken to some wonderful thought leaders, some people who are actually the change makers working on ground and actually showing us what is people power and how when passion comes together, it doesn't matter whether you have the money or the means, everything follows soon after. And that has been my biggest lesson, that it doesn't take it just takes a lot of heart to do something good, because all the people that have been felicitated over the past 5 functions or summits that we have hosted have all been working with people from the grassroots, coming from the grassroots and doing such fabulous work. With that, I start our panel, which is talking about how to scale, how to look at perhaps the corporate community partnerships, also look at the changing narrative, what is happening in the world around us, what needs to be prioritized, who are we targeting, where do we need to reach with the underserved, are we only looking at the big cities, are we going to the grassroots? So there are a lot of things that we are going to discuss today. I'm going to start with Sherin and talk to you about CSR. And CSR today has gone beyond just signing the check. CSR initiatives have also gone beyond just thinking about this is a target group, we just need to provide them with what they want. I think now with bigger companies, it is evolving to a place where they are looking at real long-term impact. They are also perhaps getting a little away from doing all the reportage, etc., although numbers still do mean a lot to the corporates. But I do want to ask you, what are some of the examples that you have set with your work that are looking at sustainable community development? And what metrics have you used to assess the success?
Okay, great. I mean, like you mentioned, it is always the reports and always the compliances which become like, the major hurdle for every corporate. But like you rightly said, like, now there is a huge evolution towards understanding as to how, how the CSR is working.
Yes.
So it's and especially now that CSR has also become a brand recognition somewhere for a corporate, for an individual, for any organization where, doing good is not a tick mark.
Yeah.
Doing good is becoming the heart. It's becoming the heart of the organization. So just to, since you asked me what is the practical experience that we have. So I will just take one example. Of course, we are into educating the underprivileged. But just to take one example, we do digital education for the underprivileged. And over the years, we have ensured that we are going deeper into that initiative. It's not just like, saying that, okay, we're giving back to the society. We're constantly going deeper into it, ensuring that the child, the community, that is the parents and the entire ecosystem is getting affected. Like, it is getting impacted.
Right.
And also, since the CSR is matured now, so we are also thinking about the exit policies, like, how to make them sustainable, how to keep moving. So which is becoming very important now. Initially, it was just like, a donation, you keep giving and the beneficiaries keep thriving, which is not anymore that way. So we do have exit policies and the matrices that we follow, the indicators that really come out for any program are basically, what was the need assessment basically, the baseline. Was it really required? What was the situation of the beneficiary at the beginning of it? How does the beneficiary go to the midline and the end line? So some of these indicators which were present but were not being followed are being followed now. So somewhere the reporting is still important because it makes the NGO and makes the corporate ensure that the benefit is being derived.
Yeah, I think the models have changed from just giving people what they need at that point in time to perhaps enabling them in earning all of those things on their own. So I think that has been the larger impact and that has been viewed.
Exactly. So initially, I don't know, I mean, most of us over here will probably agree with me, like, because when you give a donation, it is not empowering the beneficiary. So they are not really getting, value proposition out of that. But when you're making them sustainable, when you're making them do things and keep doing it, then they have self-value, they get the self-respect, and they get the urge to, keep doing good. So that is the difference.
And that's, of course, the measure of true success. Wonderfully put. All right, Satya. Volunteering in today's day and age has also changed. We do have very woke young generation which is sort of looking for direction. We do have a generation which tries to see it from a distance. They perhaps give their due. They look at philanthropy in a certain way. But volunteer-driven initiatives are what we are seeing contribute the most. But the bigger question is, what are the challenges that one faces when you have to mobilize these volunteers? You have to keep them motivated, together, and of course, taking their feedback as well. So what has been that journey for you?
So that's a beautiful question. Over 15 years, I'm still trying to find an answer, but I'll give my observations, right? So first and foremost thing is that whenever volunteers have the intention to do something good, they always look for opportunities. And in this age, with so much attention span and intention span, things are getting diluted, for sure, right? So what we have seen in volunteers is that
they want to be a part of the larger purpose, and they want to be sure they are on the winning side and that they are making an impact. It's very clear, right? The shyness comes from one of these terms. Second challenge is that they don't feel a part of the larger crowd because it's an affiliation. For example, I keep telling this to every volunteer who comes. Do not, I mean, it's a different way of what Shah Rukh Khan puts it, you know, don't underestimate the power of common man. I say, don't discount the power of one, each one, and everyone. Why is this? Because if you put together all the volunteers in the world across 37 countries, 140 million people, right, generating about 1 million full-time employment work equivalents and contributing to $46 billion global economy, you are not alone. You are not alone, right? Second thing is that even if you take the so-called shy people, if you looked at their LinkedIn profile, just take, for example, 22 legends whom you are associated would have indirectly volunteered. Second, 5.6 friends of friends would have volunteered. So you're not alone. Don't be shy. Don't say that what one person can do a change. That's how it multiplies. Now coming to the golden question, water everywhere, just connect them. That's all is the thing. Getting people together. Always I have seen people like when they start, right? It is very few. I classically tell this one, Rolling Stones do not gather moss, but a snowball will definitely explode. So it depends upon, you need to provide a platform for people to come together. Rest is history. That's been my observation. I will give you classic 2 examples of people in the area that I work in Pune. 7 volunteers came together and swapped their recycled material. It became a movement over a period of time. And then today, it is across 12 states, 17 federated wards in Pune. They keep exchanging their old clothes, their old belongings, called as swap. Just 2 women. Same way, 2 girls started Pune Feed the Need, a group during COVID, and it became a highly federated structure. Challenges are, you have to give the baton to the person and create a platform. That is what I feel is scalability. Empower them, they will do the rest. You facilitate and make sure they are set on their task and they are recognized properly.
Wonderful. And I think it was very difficult back in the days to have done that, but now with technology and the use of technology, and I'm going to come back to you and speak to you about how you have been able to do that using technology as well. But I have with me Mr. Singh, who dons many hats, company secretary, compliance officer, and head CSR, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. Now, all 3 are very different domain, and a lot of times it's said that somebody who's sitting at the helm of finance, उससे अगर CSR के बारे में कुछ पूछ लो तो वो 50 सवाल पहले पूछेगा. So, my question to you is that, you know, when you are playing a role which is of compliance, which is of CSR, which is also of looking at the books, how easy or difficult does it make? I do know if it's the top down, and I do know whatever culture is set at the top sort of percolates down, but what has your experience been getting your hands dirty and also setting a benchmark, so to say, with your work at Dr. Reddy's?
Thank you. Tough question. I see this whole 3 things which you mentioned very well integrated. CSR starts from social, but governance is integral part of it. So I see this gives me an opportunity to bridge governance with social aspect. And when you have governance, like Shalin said, sometimes governance comes as a hurdle. When you know governance, you know how to enable governance for CSR. And probably that's what is helping me to bring the required changes, which is helping in our community engagement, giving back to society. I see that trust is a fundamental thing, which drives CSR initiative. And trust is the currency. I see that is a big movement or change that we see. Everything behind that is trust. And once you have that transparency, integrity with your social initiative, it's a very welcome development, and the impact is phenomenal. So that's where I see that, yeah, it's sometimes very tough role, because you know that it is from governance angle, doable, not doable. Many times you don't know that governance and you just go ahead and do it and implement it. And many times it becomes a role model, and then governance follow up and changes comes in. Example is PM internship program. Just a year back, CSR was very, very distinct, and government gap funding was something that was not accustomed and part of CSR. But now as a country, we see that unemployment is a big problem. And here comes PM internship program. And this is a stretch, but I see that it's a welcome change. And if you look only at governance, you would not be able to enable this kind of program.
Wonderful. I think that is something that is a thread that needs to be at any level of admin as well, because when you work in silos, you're obviously working and facing roadblocks. But when you are working with all departments together and you are looking at compliances and governance and the CSR put together, coming together, I think automatically that way comes out. Because at the end of the day, even as compliance, it becomes mandatory, or I'm guessing it's just at the heart of the work that you do, that whatever the company is doing is also setting a benchmark for others, because you're such a huge company. And we'll talk about some of the projects that you have led, but wonderful to have you here and speak to us. Lion Pankaj Mehta, I'm going to get you in. We all know the work lions do, where there is a need, there is a lion, it's always said. Rich legacy of services in India, and we've been speaking about it, but I see such huge amount of work that is happening at a global platform. There are so many meetups, and you have your stakeholders and participants and co-collaborators that are coming from there. What are some of the global strategies that you are bringing to truly help the locals here, and what have you found being effective?
Thank you, Mugdha-ji. To begin with, I'm honored to be over here. And the answer to your question, a very good question, is having a strategic plan in place. That's the reason we are here, collaborating with CN, News 18, and Forbes India. Right. Like we said, we are the largest service organization in the world. We say that. And yes, our motto is we serve. And we say that, and we are sustained for more than 107 years now, with all about 1.4 million lions. In India itself, more than 300,000 lions. We have what we call it as a strategic plan in place. We have what we call it as long-range planning. We are like any other professional body. We have people working and seeing things much ahead. But just to put in a little different perspective, we all lion friends are sitting over here, more than 150 people. I'll put it this way, that we have a lot of things to begin with. We have taken up a challenge, which we call it Mission 1.5. We are around 1.4 million now, and we want to reach Mission 1.5 million by 2027. Now, the idea is a strategic plan it is. When we talk about global causes, the service, more people, more mind, more hands, more creative, more innovation, more money, more everything. So this is one of the strategic plan. If I talk about the second strategic plan, would be that, yes, we would like to partner for better future. And that is what we have been endeavor all the times. Like we feel that today, not only India, globally, CSR is something where we have 1.4 million volunteers over here, talking about volunteers, sir. In India, it's about 300,000 working in various different fields. And if we can join hand with CSR, I think CSR, madam, you cannot find a better partners than we Lions. Just to name the few that we partner with, is about, I can say, we partner with WHO, HSBC, NOVA Foundation, and so on and so forth. Not only that, It's not about taking money from CSR. We ourselves, as a strategic plan, have what we call it as Lions Club International Foundation. It is one of the best foundations of the world, being rated as one of the best foundations. And it is not only that we get donations from the various corporates and corporations where we look forward to the partnership, but we Lions too contribute, and we have a large target towards this. For example, the target, this is almost about $80 million. And like your question says, where this money will go? This money will go to serve the people. One more strategy, like you were saying, how do you meet the need of a local community? Yeah. Well, we have something, a document called Community Assessment Need. And through this document, the clubs can find out what are the needs of their community. And probably these are the results because of which I can very proudly say to all my Lions that we have more than 100 schools, we have more than 100 dialysis units, we have more than 100 blood banks, and so on and so forth. And top it up, like I said, strategic planning. Yes, you can put your hands together for yourself. To top it up, we have found that you can serve in any area, but we have designated 8 focus areas, which probably all across the globe we work, which is, I would say, telling absolutely with UN strategic projects. Like, for example, they could be, I would say, childhood cancer, diabetes, disaster relief, environment, humanitarian, hunger, vision, and youth. For we Lions, we always say, Dil mange more. Yes, friends? Dil mange more as far as the services are concerned. I hope that answers your question, right?
Absolutely, it does. And I know all the SDGs that you are aligned with, and the awards that we are seeing also have painstakingly been put together to bring all the workers from grassroots on all the SDGs the Lions International's Foundation is also aligned with, and that speaks of the volumes of work that is being put together. But you spoke about CSR collaborations, and we are now looking at models where, Sharon, corporates are coming together with the community and doing meaningful work. Where do you see these collaborations coming together? And also, when you are working with your own employees, we speak about motivation. How do you keep them motivated with the CSR work to just understand that, no, it's not just to tick that box, but actually feel deeply committed and driven to actually make a meaningful impact?
So excellent. I mean, there are 2 questions.
Yes, one on collaboration.
One is the collaboration, and collaboration is now, sir, it is becoming inevitable. Because it is not in the किसी के बस में नहीं है कि अकेला काम कर सके. So even if it is a very large corporation or a small whatever size, but collaborating and getting the needful impact is very important.
Knowledge sharing, that has become such a huge part of it.
I mean, for a corporate to actually implement a CSR project, it is not their forte. I mean, they are doing their line of business is something different, and they are trying to, get into. So it is, the collaboration is a must. And as we are maturing in this area, I mean, 2013 se abhi right now we're about 12 years old. But as we go ahead, collaboration has to happen. And it is happening. I'm sure my co-panelists would agree, because going ahead together is a big thing. And we ourselves at WNS, we are seeing how, for skill development, initially we were doing it ourselves, where we thought we could implement it directly. But then we realized that the entire supply chain, getting them, identifying the beneficiaries, getting them trained, and then placing them. So that is actually not possible for any one body to do it. So that is where, so recently, we are collaborating with other bodies, because skill development is becoming a big thing, and we're collaborating so that, we can get the desired result.
Right. Taking the same question with you, Satya. Do you wanted to add a point to it?
I just wanted to talk about the volunteerism.
Yes.
So should I continue?
Yeah, do that and then answer.
Yeah, because that is something we take pride in. So if you all have gone on the WNS website, it is I is equal to the E to the power of 3. So where we are considering volunteerism as very, very integral. Every program that we implement is supported by the volunteers. Now we have made it technical. We have, So one thing I would like to say is like, that even the clients who are coming to us for business, even they require to see what we are doing in the CSR space.
Right.
So that becomes very imperative for the employee
Yeah.
because it's part of his bread and butter. So they have to be part of the larger picture to earn their own bread and butter.
That's the only way to do that.
Yeah. And it is so good.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
a 60,000 employee company is able to at least mobilize 25% of the employees to, do something. So almost about 40 people are on the ground every day doing something or the other globally. Including India.
And that's a huge number.
Yeah.
And when we talk about these huge numbers, Satya, I want to get you in. How do you use technology? How do you use data? And how do you find these co-collaborators? Because as you rightly said, bring them together on that one platform. But what are the means with which we do that? And how do you empower each one of them to then make an army of their own and then proceed? So I think that agency, of course, has to be given. Do you do trainings? Do you get tech together? What do you do?
So definitely the social media and the media has a lot of role to play in amplifying what is done in a pocket in a certain ward in Pune versus a certain ward in Jalandhar. So definitely that is a said and done because people have lost connection being in the same house between two rooms. People don't talk, whereas they connect to the entire world using technology on a mobile phone. So definitely we need to be there where people see us. That's for sure. There is no science behind it. It is said and done. But what we are talking about is basically the importance of collaboration. I have been working in the night shift for past 15 years, sleeping 5 hours a day, and I could partner with 60 plus NGOs to do 10,000 events. That is just my personal count. I have not spent the money, I have not taken money. Why is this possible? Is because 60 of these NGOs carried me along to do volunteering. Likewise, payback time. Today, we have a partnership with communities which aren't even called as communities. These are aggregation. For example, 10 lakh pilgrims travel from Pune to Pandharpur. 1 week का कचरा उधर जमा होता है within 2 hours, right? Wow. It is evident, but volunteers, something about 1,000 volunteers from schools and colleges make it their annual practice to come and clean up the streets in 2 hours SLA spick and span. Indeed, some of the times I really say like every day let it be a Varkari day. So it gets so cleaned up. So that is one where it is one spot in a year, people coming together, amplification, partnership at the community level. There are people who own Maiwari Swachwari as a part of Adar Punawala Clean City. There was 1 year, there was a delay for 2 weeks that we didn't do. Everybody from the Gram Panchayat, NGOs, everybody started coming, Are Satya, what happened? I said immediately, hey boss, this is your program. I was waiting for you to invite me. And since then, they are leading the program and inviting us. That is the power of collaboration. Yeah. Second thing is that usually when we work with government organization, they are the same people sitting on the other side like us with the intention to serve. But they want proof. They want proof, both CSRs and governments. And a critical mass is reached, they will definitely come and pitch in. For example, there was a program called My Heritage, My Pride. There was about 259 structures, heritage structures, out of which we have taken about 159. And we clean, using volunteers, the approach roads. So everyone takes their part to do these things. And then now, the government officially announces that this is also a part of it, come and do it, we will support. So that initial extra mile that you have to walk to get others. So collaborators who come on the way, that is one. And as a part of the Indian Swachhata League, how many of you know IPL for Swachhata? There is something called ISL, Indian Swachhata League. 4,200 cities participate. It's an official government-run program. For example, Shankar Mahadevan is the captain for Navi Mumbai. I am for Pune. We have been able to garner, I'm not that popular as him, but we are able to get about 1.25 lakh citizens who were looking for an opportunity because government and a set of NGOs come together to say, here is a platform, come and join. You have about 1.25 lakh people out of 45 lakh people coming in. It is doable. That is the power of collaboration. The third thing is that the subject matter experts coming together for, I would say, one youth out of the global 5 youth is from India. We start collaborating with the colleges. We say 16 green campuses on 5 thematic areas. And actually 30,000 volunteers are institutionalized every year through these campuses as a part of Climate Reality Project as well as Explore It. And finally, coming to where I work over the weekend is Adar Punawala Clean City. The concept of collaboration is to make it easy. It is not about who does it. It is about how easy is it you make the collaboration work. Set of 5 people come and say, I want to clean this road, whether it is for CSR or I feel good about it. Can you help me, Adar Punawala Clean City? Right? Easy to approach. There is one email ID to the CEO directly. And he says, warm regards. It means it is done and dusted. On the day, people will come with the gloves, with the block bags, and the litter picking service. And I'm telling you, it's so easy to conduct 52 weeks of weekend volunteering just with a common man. All these are possible just because not individuals can do, because of the power of collaboration with the government, with the NGOs, with the philanthropic units, and people who are sitting over in front of me. That coming together is the way, and that is the SDG goal 17, which makes every other goal possible.
Absolutely, the last goal of SDGs, number 17. Very well spoken about the power of people, power of collaboration, and power of giving them a platform where they can come together. A lot of times it so happens, Mr. Singh, that a lot of people have the will to do something, but life doesn't allow. Jobs doesn't allow. And at that point in time, it becomes very imperative that the places that you're working at create a culture where you're told that it is all right to give your time, your attention, your money, and more than anything, your intent and your passion to something that is doing good for others, which is not exactly part of your job, but you need to do that. How can companies create that culture of service where their employees are also tuned in a way that they contribute, that they come together and they don't just look at it as a tick box, as we were talking earlier? What role can private sector and corporate houses play in the social empowerment now in the coming few years?
Thank you. So I see that empowerment is not only providing solution to the problem, but enabling the people to drive their cause. And there comes the internal management, the employees, and rest of the stakeholders, how they collaborate and bring into this into action. For example, I will talk about one of the programs that we are running. It is in healthcare, and generally you will go and give medicines, provide doctors services, and start implementing, and interventions will come out. When you start doing it with the people, you co-create the issues. You go and see the pain, what exactly is the pain of the people, and then you create the whole process. So we did need assessment, and we saw that just like in cities, even in the rural areas, out-of-pocket expenses is mainly on the diagnostic. And even if PHCs and hospitals, everything is available, diagnostic, for that they are going outside, and that is the out-of-pocket cost that is happening. And then when you include the people who are your people around that place, they work as eyes and ears for the program. You get exact what is happening there, and you are able to embed the learnings from it, improvise it. For us, we are having almost pan-India program, and problem in, say, north versus south, east versus west is very, very different. When you talk about a place like Baddi, where most of the laborers are migrant, people have moved from different place, the problem that you have to solve is very, very different. And then there is no safety net. People are not well connected. They have just come there for the livelihood, and they start working, and bread and butter is only the bread probably is the only motive for being there. Versus in South, where I see that so many migrant laborers are not there. When you implement programs there, there is a safety net. They have a very well social connect. They live in the villages and then go and work at the plant. So various different aspect gets into it. You need to leverage the knowledge, the partnership of the local community, your employees, your worker, and the NGOs, government, and various stakeholders, and that the impact come out. And that is the whole of the culture. And culture will keep on evolving. So you keep on reinforcing, learning, going back, and then this process keeps on continuing. That's how I see. I see that CSR maybe is just 10, 11 years old, although giving back to society was very, very old, right? We have, as in India, we have always believed in giving back to society. Now it is a well-regulated area, and there come some nuances, but as I see, it is giving a lot of benefit as a country to the people, community, and a lot of big changes we are seeing from here.
And that's a very positive note to speak about, because in the Guwahati edition of We Serve India, we found a very interesting definition by one of the professors from IIT who was there. He said, now we should not have entrepreneurs. We should not have the definition and defining of who a social entrepreneur is. Every single person is a social entrepreneur now. So now entrepreneurship means that you have social angle and social commitments combined with it. So every entrepreneur in the country today, every business in the country today, every private sector industry today has to be aligned with the social aspect of it, with the people aspect of it, with the DEI aspect of it. And you just spoke about that. Lion Pankaj, I'm going to give you the last word. And what I wanted to speak to you about, we have a demography that includes very young and very old young as well. We are looking at people in their 40s and 50s and 60s also now at a place where they want to be in the business, they want to contribute, they want to work. Nobody's getting older, if I see. And if I see a lot of people here, I mean, gray is just a style. Everybody is, the age is on our side. With Lions, that is doing such a lot of work with the young and the not so old, how do you keep them all together? What options are you giving them? I know we have moved from just looking at health and education to a whole lot of other verticals within your work. In the future, how do you think all of them can come together, especially the young?
So are you asking me that how would you attract the young people into the fold of Lionism?
Yeah.
Well,
the cubs,
you yourself said initially that in this world, career is something which is very challenging and becoming more and more difficult with time. And when we talk about social activities, yes, we need young people. And I can only say that Lions Club International has been trying very hard to see that how they can bring in the average age of a lion. And as far as India is concerned, in the last 2 years, we have been pretty successful in increasing the percentage of people below 40. Now, we'd ask the question that very, very nicely asked. I've been talking about Swachh Bharat and the way you're going about. I've got a lot of brilliant ideas, which I'm going to share with my leaders. But coming back to this, serving just a particular project and doing a thing, which is very important, is one thing. But what are the other side of it? That when you want to attract the young people, yes, service is close to heart of everybody. Today, for any human being, there are two basic needs, Muktaji. The need number one is to give, to serve. It's a human need. Yeah. Whether he's a beggar or he's a millionaire, this need is basic need of a human. And second basic need is every human wants to be significant. Now, is there any platform for a young people which can give these both things? Both the things can be satisfied. And I can very, very confidently, proudly say that Lions International provides us both the things. And this is what probably I harp on when talking to young people, that what is in for me? Because today the first question the young people ask is, Mera fayda kya hai isme? It's a human psychology. And we tell them that it is not only about service. Service is there, you need it. We have to give it. But along with that, Lions Club International offers so many things. Like, for example, leadership development is one of the core things that we teach. We talk about giving them an experience, I would say, but we have a program called Lions Quest. Through that program, we talk about that how social emotional learning can impact the community and build the nation is a part of it. To promote the young people, we have various kind of symposium. We have a special, we call our service project, we call it LEOS, L-E-O-S. Yeah. Over there, the age group from 12 to 30, they work over there. Along with fun, they do a lot of service activities. And it is our endeavor that from the age of 12, 15, when they slowly start learning what this world is all about, we try to nurture them and see whether they can join the mainstream of Lions, which we call it as the Leo Lions Club, and they do come. We have a program like Youth Exchange, which gives a tremendous exposure, not only from the Indian youth going somewhere, even those children coming over here. That is another way of looking at it. But yes, youth is a challenge. We have accepted that challenge. We are working towards it from various angles. And yes, I'm sure for the time to come, we are going to succeed in having what we are looking at under Mission 1.5, like discount membership, calling young student membership, calling campus club membership, and so on and so forth. And we are working towards that. And I'm sure for time to come, we will be able to bring down the age of people who are serving. Like you said, it's not only about making money. It is not only about making a name. It is also the social angle has to be imbibed in the youth from the early age. And I think Lions have got fantastic program, fantastic thing we are doing over here, and we'll be successful, I'm sure about it.
Fantastic. Big round of applause for that. And with that, I also close the panel. Thank you so much. Yeah, sure.
One thought, that came, and usually these platforms are the places where, we go back taking something. So, sir, like you told and like you said, service and career should no more be looked at as two different aspects.
No. Yes.
It should not be saying that I'm doing this job and then I'm volunteering to do this as a service. It should not be like that anymore. The ingrained activity of the life's sustenance. Yeah. Every job that we do should also have an attitude of service in that. So whether we are an engineer, a doctor, or a chartered accountant, an actor, a singer, anybody, whatever we do needs to have these two grains together. And I want to leave the public today with that thought that, especially the youth who are coming out. I mean, why can't we imbibe this, saying that taking a job and then doing a CSR or doing a service should not be two different things. There should be one. I just wanted to leave
Madam, I'll just summarize yours, you get an answer. As far as Lions are concerned, we always say service through membership, through fellowship, through leadership, and now I can add career also to that. Yes. This is how it moves in the direction. Yeah.
Yes,
and if we can
so
really
we should not be
this,
going to the office wearing a suit and then coming back and going in jeans and serving the community. We should be all over the place all the time.
Thank you, Srinman. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. That's such a beautiful note to end this panel on. Thank you to all my panelists for giving us your time and the insights, and Mr. Mehta, the felicitations for all of them. The young lady here has a question to ask. Who do you want to all the panelists? All right, a quick one.
Yes, of course. I'm sure everybody's wondering who I am because it's like my first time coming here. So I'm Chakshu. I generally work in London. I work with the UN. But and today I'm turning 26. It's my birthday today. Thank you so much. But this is something that's concerning. So today in the morning itself, AI is increasing. I'm aware, everybody's aware. Data science, social media, harassment is increasing. So I got threatened today in the morning, myself. There's a guy or there's a person who has actually created an Instagram page on my name, and he told me कि आपने Snapchat delete कर दिया तो क्या हुआ, मैं आपके AI के private pictures share कर दूंगा. So now I want to know that how, as a person, because I'm so brave, I'm sure not every girl is out there, how, as we young people, can talk to NGOs, corporates, create this as a movement, because I'm pretty sure every 5 minutes a girl is getting harassed on social media today.
I can easily answer. It is here. There is already an NGO which is doing that. I do not know. I didn't stage it, so it is a great question. There are gone in the history where harassment of different natures happen. Now with AI and technology, it has got sophisticated and before the eyes of everybody, not just your family. So there is already an NGO that is working. I made it as a volunteer, like she said, everyday volunteering. So I stuck this number which deals with AI related harassments, and they're already serving people who wants help like you. So I can share this number offline. So this is how I do volunteering. I carry it in my sleeves. So there is a solution. People have already found a solution, ready to help, connect them. Here is the connect. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
If you just want to note down this number, 636317, 636317, 6363. So this is the cyber security. Maybe they can help you out with that. Okay. 636317, 6363.
Hashtag Daro Nahi. All right. Wonderful. Coming back from the power of collaboration, volunteers, and public and private partnership, back to the awards. What we witnessed while we have had a few awards already, the We Serve India initiative was built on a very rigorous evaluation process, and I must mention it to you how it all came together. We have upheld transparency and credibility at all points, and to take us through the methodology and selection criteria, we have with us our process partner, EY. Let's hear from Sakshi Kishnani, Director, Event Risk Management, Ernst & Young. Sakshi.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all of you, our distinguished delegates, our esteemed jury members, and everyone who has participated in the inaugural edition of We Serve India, which was organized by Forbes India along with Lions Club International. We have been the process partners for this unique award. It's been a privilege and an honor to be associated, putting together the entire process, the methodology, the shortlisting criteria for the awards. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate everyone who has made this edition a huge success. I think this is what differentiates the award, the recognition from various other platforms. The fact that entries were invited and evaluated at a regional level along with a national evaluation. So multiple rounds of evaluations and like I said, an overwhelming response. With respect to the objective of the awards, I think during the course of the day and the last few months, we've come across such innovative initiatives, such selfless initiatives that have been implemented. So once again, thank you for participating. And, I know a lot of the participants came back to us and they were a little apprehensive, a lot of the good work, a lot of people don't talk about it. So I know that took some extra effort, to demonstrate the kind of work that has been done. So I'd like to thank everyone once again. In terms of the process, we had a call for entry microsite that was put together where we had the various award categories, the 6 categories where applications were received. We had a due diligence that was done on the eligibility criteria. Since this was the first edition of the awards, we looked primarily at initiatives that were implemented in the past 2 years. On the basis of our due diligence of the eligibility criteria, entries that met the criteria were then shared with our jury members. And each and every entry, along with the documents, there were videos that were submitted, were reviewed, were evaluated by our jury members. We had a detailed scoring mechanism. We also reached out to some of you for more data points. The team at EY, I think, has been in touch with a lot of the participants. So again, we really appreciate the support that was given so that we could present the data, the impact numbers to the jury members. And it was a very, very challenging process in terms of, I think the jury members had to put in a lot of effort, of time to evaluate each and every entry. So I'd like to thank them. Our esteemed jury members, I don't think it would have been possible without your valuable insight. So I think a big round of applause for all our jury members. In terms of the criteria, we looked at unique initiatives, the challenges that were faced, and also the kind of initiatives that have been scaled up also during the period. So there were various factors that were kept in mind in terms of the impact, the selfless contribution of all the individuals, and that's such wonderful work that has been done. On behalf of Ernst & Young, I'd like to congratulate everyone who has put together and put the effort of making this initiative a huge success. I think more importantly, to build a better world for all of us. And we're extremely grateful for that. So thank you once again. In terms of, I think, recognizing also the fact that Forbes India, along with Lions International, has come up with such a unique initiative in terms of We Serve India. I'm looking forward to meeting you all every year and sharing some more insights and showcasing the unique initiatives of the finalists and the winners. Congratulations once again, and thank you for making this a huge success.
Well, we wouldn't have been able to achieve anything without our partners at Ernst & Young. So thank you very much for doing this for us. All right, let us keep the momentum going. And the journey of service is one of passion, persistence, and purpose. And in our next special conversation, we will explore how acts of service can create ripple effects that transform entire communities. I'd like to call upon stage Mr. A.P. Singh, first Vice President, Lions Clubs International, for a very powerful fireside chat, which I promise you we will now witness. First of all, I'm so glad to have you on stage sitting right next to me, because all this while, since we have started, I've never had the opportunity to sit right next to you and talk to you about everything that is being done. And of course, the challenges with which it is happening, because this is a huge organization. You have been associated with the Lions Clubs International for a while. Now you're going to take up a very important role in July. My first question to you is, in your journey and in this tenure of working with the Lions and with collaborators, what has been the most important change that you are seeing, which is sort of setting the trend for the coming years? Because there was a certain way Lions have been doing work, and they've been doing it for years and years. And I always said my own parents were part of the Lions back in the day, and I've seen them also participating. My mom was a doctor, but there was always that element of service and camaraderie. How has it changed over a period of time?
Well, I would say the spirit remains the same, but the expanse and the impact has magnified. Yeah. There are reasons for it. Number one, there is much more expected from organizations like Lions International today because of our track record of success, because of the way we've been able to serve communities. If I limit my comments to India, say in this country, ever since the first Lions Club was established in 1956. The second change is because we've grown as an association in India, starting from the first club, which had just 20 members, and today we are 290,000 plus members across the country. And we are in all states, we are in all union territories. And the third is because of the development in our economy, that even our members and the participation and the support from the industry and the philanthropists is growing. And the total funds annually that we deploy for service programs run by the Lions in this country is also growing. Yeah. Sometimes it's not realized and not recognized that on an annual level, year after year after year, say for the last 10, 12 years, as the amounts are growing, Lions Clubs in India alone are investing, I don't say spending, investing more than 500 crores each year for community development programs.
Fantastic.
So we have more hands, we have more funds, we have experience. There are also more expectations from Lions Clubs. And so that's changing the landscape.
Over the last few years, we have seen that Lions, which was also doing a lot of work very independently with their own schools, with their own camps, with their own outreach programs. Now there is a lot of involvement of local key stakeholders. How do you go about looking at these partnerships? What has been the experience like, especially keeping in mind that large amount of funds are there. So a lot of scrutiny goes into who is getting these funds, what is it being used for, what has the impact been like. So what is the process like, and what would you say are those partnerships that have really worked well?
I mean, when the work has expanded, or when the canvas for Lions clubs in this country has really expanded, and as we say that we are present in all parts of the country, all states, even the number 290,000 is not big enough as compared to the length and breadth of the country and the needs in this country. So it is but natural that we have to work with the local organizations.
Yes.
And so if we have to work in any particular, say, we have to work in Chota Nagpur, we have to work in tribal areas, we have to work in the mountainous terrains, we have to work in some areas where it is not easy to reach out. We have to work with the local organizations. And this is an era of collaboration. This is not an era anymore in social service, in social work for competition. This is an era of bringing together the core strengths. Everybody has core strengths. The local organizations have core strengths because they know the local terrain the best. They know the cultures the best. They know the local people and the local influences the best. Yeah. You don't have to go and experiment and make mistakes and learn there. You already have people there who are working and they understand all those, the local fabric is so very well understood. So when you collaborate with them, you're in fact, it's not about reinventing the wheel each time. So you multiply by working with the local organizations or various partners. And that's the way it's going, and that's the way it has to be if we really want to make an impact as the needs are just growing year after year.
Any special community initiative, partnership that comes to your mind that you would like to talk about?
I mean, that's a difficult question because I think there could be hundreds, thousands of them. Sure. But so if you ask me off the head, I could just refer some of them. Say, we worked for microfinance. So starting that microfinance program, we literally had gone and seen, I suppose everybody knows that microfinance all over the world is funding made available to women. Now, and it's very small loans, and there are no collaterals. Basically, they are at the bottom of the pyramid. And that funding is made available to them because when you start making the funding available to them, they perhaps don't even have a bank account. They could perhaps, it be challenging for them to even find an introducer, leave aside provide any collaterals. So when you provide the funds to them and they even understand that they have to return the funds to you, that's very fine. And it's regulated now in this country. It's no more an unregulated sector. And within a year or two, there is tremendous development in their own homes. Their children start going to schools. They have cycles in their school, in their homes. Within 2 years or so, they have electricity connections. Within a cluster, they would be having a television. They build toilets. Yep. They would not have toilets earlier. We have seen all this actually happen. We have been working with them for microfinance in West Bengal. And similarly, there are friends of mine who are sitting in this meeting here who are working with communities for the water conservation programs. And they build those check dams. And everywhere they've built check dams, they say they've seen economy change. They've seen local economy of the people in that village change. And the effect's been a multiplier effect. The earning per families has increased. It's doubled or trebled. I mean, for those individuals, 10,000 or 20,000 makes a big difference. It's doubled and trebled. And so, that's the way. These are just two examples. We could have thousands of examples with all our 8,500 clubs in the country.
Coming to a very interesting question, which I've been mulling over, because every city that I have been to, I've seen lions come in huge numbers. There is a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of friendships, there are tons and tons of people, and it's pan-generation as well. You know, you have a senior lion, their family members, they get involved, the wives are involved, the men are involved, you know, and everybody is called a lion. And then there is the younger generation. This is a huge group of people. How do you keep them all together? How do you keep them motivated? Is there a feedback mechanism? How are there checks and balances? Because there are not just city, there are towns, there are tier 2 towns, you know, there's multiple levels at which clubs come together. When all of them are together, of course, there is also a need for knowing what each, perhaps the club or in a geography, the work that is being done. What is that mechanism like?
I mean, the formula is very simple. It's a volunteer service club organization. So individuals join by their own free will. And the working methodology is very simple. You enter the door by your free will. You could even exit the door by your free will. So the individuals stay on in the club so long as they want to stay on in the club. And each club is autonomous. I mean, we have cardinal principles, we have thumb rules as far as transparency is concerned, as far as respect is concerned, respect for men, women, respect for everybody is concerned. As far as accounting principles are concerned, there are those cardinal rules that will not be sacrificed under any circumstances. Now, within that, the members could choose how they would like to run the club. In today's world, a particular club, they could perhaps decide that they would like to have most of their meetings online, starting at whatever hours that suit them. Now, this was unthinkable some years ago. Maybe even a decade or 2 decades ago, this was totally unthinkable. So the clubs have that total independence. They are autonomous. They decide how they would like to run, depending on the expectations or the lifestyles of their members.
Right.
And this is what keeps the members in the clubs, because they decide how they would like to meet, what they would like to engage with, how they would like to spend their time together as a group, and what kind of service programs would they like to be engaged with. It's totally an independent decision. So if there are 8,500 clubs in India or 9,000 clubs in India, there are in fact 9,000 decisions.
Right.
So that keeps them together, but at the same time, it's a fact that sometimes some individuals who join, they leave as well. And that's fine. We respect them. We respect them 100% because they could be leaving for various reasons. They could be leaving for job transfers, some other personal reasons, personal challenges, or they may just feel that they don't belong to a service organization. You know, it's an individual mindset, and we respect that as well.
It's a global organization. It is a multilateral organization. There are so many people working. There are clubs outside. What are the lessons that you have learned from them, and what are the lessons that you take from India when you speak to your stakeholders abroad?
Yeah, this is perhaps the best thing in this organization. This is the greatest learning lesson, you know, diversity and, you know, cross-cultural ways of working, ways of thinking. That's extremely important. I mean, in the same vertical of service, we could be doing very different things in different parts of the world. And when one witnesses that, that's the greatest learning. Right. For example, in United States, when we talk of working for the vision impaired, one of the most important parts of the programs is the guide dogs program.
Yes.
And Lions train those guide dogs. Lions invest for those guide dogs. They provide those guide dogs to those who are visually impaired, and the lives of those who are visually impaired totally changes. Now, we don't have a guide dogs program in India. And sometimes I've wondered why we don't have it in India. What we have is our hospitals, because we've got such a lot of backlog for cataract surgery and other surgeries, which still we haven't been able to overcome. And it'll perhaps take time to overcome the total backlog. Now, that backlog's not there in the West or in the advanced countries of the West. We have backlog here, so for us, vision programs for vision impaired is actually medical-related programs like, checkups and providing medical relief in many ways. But out there, where medical relief is provided because of the social security schemes and everything, it's the guide dogs program. It's so very different. So, like when we work for those who are, diabetes, who are suffering with diabetes, India is one of the diabetic capitals. In our country, we're still very strong, and there's a lot of work to do even through the basic diabetic detection camps. But in Australia, Lions clubs, what they are now training are the diabetic dogs. There are dogs who would be able to smell when the diabetic levels are changing and changing drastically. And those dogs would immediately caution that individual. They can smell through that smelling system which nature has provided them. They would be able to identify that this individual's sugar levels are falling or has risen, and this individual needs to check. And they would, immediately signal, or even if the person is sleeping, sometimes it happens in sleep. They would wake up the person, they would bark, wake up the person, and that master knows exactly that my friend here is telling me that it's time for me to check out something's happening in the body and I need to take care. So what we learn is that the needs are so different, the entire cultures are different, the lifestyles are different, the kind of support available in each ecosystem is so different, and yet there is so much to do. But one thing is for sure, in every kind of society, no matter how advanced it might be, there is a question of interdependence. Everybody needs support. That support system is essential. So organizations like Lions Clubs, I'm using word like Lions Clubs, there are other organizations as well, and we respect them too, are very important. So they will continue to be important no matter how advanced or how rich the countries may be.
Wonderful. That's so well put about the coming together of even bigger communities and learning from each other and learning from the models that have been successful and established and have been working. And then when you bring them to your country or to a local area, to a local geography, you already have models that have been established by others, so you don't have to start from scratch, and those learnings really help. When we're talking about these collaborations, the learnings with the volunteer work, how has technology changed that?
Of course, technology has changed. I mean, I just referred to the possibility of the clubs now could be deciding having their meetings online.
Yes.
And it's not uncommon at all.
Absolutely.
It's very common. Meetings, online meetings at all levels have become very common. In fact, we've even had one of our international conventions. We were just coming out of the COVID years. So while we had to suspend an international convention in 1 year, in the following year, our international convention was online.
Yes.
Now, that was kind of unthinkable. So, I mean, it's really changing, and we are also beginning to introduce AI, the use of AI in our own organization. We are a very large organization. We have people coming from more than 200 countries and geographical areas, so people with different levels of education. So we perhaps take a little time because we need to acclimatize and include everybody in those initiatives as we launch them, but we are already launching AI platforms within our own organization as well.
How do you look at impact? What is the meaning of impact for an organization like yours? Have you now set your own set of metrics? Do you look at a definition of impact which is different from corporates, or are you looking at that definition? Because at the heart of it also you are, while there is a lot of voluntary services and heart in the clubs, but it still needs to be run like a corporate discipline, with the corporate discipline. So what is that impact definition for you then?
Well, we do have impact studies for any large investments that we make for any large investments for community development programs. We have to have impact studies. We have to have studies where we want to make sure that the individuals that whom we are serving are satisfied. They have that sense of satisfaction. They feel respected, and they truly feel benefited out of the service that we are provided. And these studies are regularly conducted. But I would also like to deal impact in a little different way. For us, there are certain litmus tests. Those litmus tests tell us how impactful we are. For example, if the governments in certain parts are launching certain schemes or initiatives for public welfare, if the governments at that point of time invite Lions to join them, to promote those initiatives, to take it down to the grassroots level, that shows we have the power of making an impact. That shows we have the power of making an impact. It happened with the measles program, when in government of India, I mean, just in the last few years, they took up this vaccination programs, and they asked Lions to join. Lions were required to be able to assist the government authorities in promoting and propagating that parents from all backgrounds, from various ethnic backgrounds, from various cultural backgrounds, should accept those vaccinations. You need volunteers. You need common people to go and talk to common people and tell them, if somebody's telling you not to have these vaccinations, that's totally wrong news. That's not the correct thing. It is in your interest, your family's interest, your child's interest, that the child is provided those vaccines. So it's there that they needed they needed a large, huge mass of volunteers, and Lions were invited. This is just one example. There are various other examples. So we judge our impact there also, our capacity to make an impact. So it's then we feel satisfied, that we have that capacity to make an impact. There's so much to do, and we just try to do whatever we can.
Before I let you go, the last set of questions, two of them. One is, of course, about now the vision for the next few years. But before that, when we are talking about the younger demography, we have volunteers coming who are much younger. They have a different set of expectations. They have different set of dreams that they are chasing in terms of what volunteering means for them or what their causes are. Is there a difference in alignment that you see? How are the young different from the ones that are already there? How do you get them together and choose causes that appeal to both?
I mean, I see it as a cycle. There's nothing new. I mean, I personally joined this association when I was 24. I considered that a young age. And I have a lot of friends who also joined when they were in their 20s, this organization. But then they are aging, and there are other younger people who are joining. So the cycle just goes on. And always there is a difference in the perception of the young today versus the not so young today. The not so young today were young earlier. And they would like to approach things in a different way, which is absolutely right. And our constant request to all our volunteers, and especially our senior volunteers, our members, including one has to remind oneself as well, that we have such a lot of emotional equity invested in doing things the way we've been doing for the last so many years. Yeah. We need to give space to the younger generation to do things the way they would like to do it. And we do succeed in that. It's not very easy. We are all human beings. We get used to doing things in a particular way, but then we are fully aware of the fact that, say, for example, when I joined, I wanted to do things the way I felt comfortable at that point of time. Now, I've been doing it for almost 4 decades. Now, what I find very comfortable doing it for 4 decades, somebody who's 24 or 25 joining now is definitely not going to have the same view. So I need to provide the same space to that person or that group of persons to do things their way. Yeah. And that's how we just go on. And, it's like passing on from one generation to the next. And even people with different generations, they work very collaboratively. Once this equilibrium is set, or once this understanding is arrived at, then working between people of different generations is absolutely fine. We value the opinion of the young very, very strongly. we have an international board which is comprised of individuals from all parts of the world. But we have 2 individuals who are not elected, but are nominated each year, whom we address them as Leo Lions, who are usually in the age of somewhere, could be between 18 to 24, 25. So they sit with us on the international board, and they have the same right to give their opinion on every decision that is being taken. They're not in a majority, that's fine, but they bring that freshness. Yeah. They bring that approach or the mindset of the new generation, of the, generation which we say today is the GOAT generation. We say they are the greatest of all times. They are a very, unique generation. They bring in those perspectives even to our international board, and we recommend the same to our clubs, to our districts, to involve younger people. And that's the way it goes on. There are challenges, but then that's the way any human organization goes on.
Wonderful. My last question is, what next for 5 years? Because we do have the SDG goals. We do have global partnerships and charters. We have our own government giving us goals for 2030, for 2050, and then, of course, 2075. A lot of the line members are industrialists themselves who are aligning to those goals. Where do you see the next 5 years? What is going to shape your work and legacy?
I mean, when we talk of SDGs, we do understand SDGs are very important for the world. Yeah. They're important for mankind on this planet Earth. And SDGs is, it's kind of the dream that we need to achieve. So as an organization, we are committed to supporting the SDGs. We encourage our clubs to identify, or our districts to identify SDGs that they would like to support more aggressively or in a more robust manner. I mean, everything that we do fits into some SDG or the other. I mean, all the 17 of them. But then they can choose which one they would like to be concentrating more on. But we also understand that our own government has its own priorities and way of looking at things. So as we have our own government's way of looking at things, we do respect that as well. So while we work in our country, as we continue to focus on the SDGs, say something like the Global South also gathers a very big importance for us. So when we approach in this country, we look into SDGs and we also try to integrate what the vision of the government of India is at this point of time, to carry forward this work of really building India and building the world, making the world better than what it's been before, but with the perspective of the government of India. So, and this is what Lions could be doing in all parts of the world, because our understanding is very clear that we think globally, but we act locally. We've got to balance that, local and global, and we don't find any conflict in that. I mean, what is locally important is important at that particular location, in that country, in that territory. And that has to be respected. So we work, by building that balance properly.
Lani Singh, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for this wonderful conversation and all the insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And now to present the final set of awards, may I now invite on stage Tarun Katyal, founder Koto, Lion Rajkumar Agrawal, and Lion Naresh Agrawal. Should we wait? Is he coming? All right. Okay. We'll just All right. We'll start with our category healthcare and sanitation. Well, this category celebrates those breaking barriers in medical care, hygiene, and sanitation to uplift the underserved communities. Our winner tonight has transformed the lives of individuals with spinal cord injuries. From an initial group of about 50 beneficiaries, her initiative has grown today to support over 2,600 individuals, investing nearly 1.5 crores annually in rehabilitation efforts. And the award goes to...
In the category Healthcare and Sanitation, the winner is Preeti Srinivasan.
So Preeti is not here with us, but I would like to invite Kala Athai to accept this award on her behalf. Sure.
Namaste to all of you and a very good evening. I'm here on behalf of Preeti Srinivasan. She very much wanted to be here this evening to receive the award herself. Just a few words about Preeti's achievements. Preeti, at the age of 8, was a national swimmer. At the age of 17, she captained the under-19 women's cricket team. A freak accident left her paralyzed from the neck down. She's a quadriplegic, and she is the person who converted her own personal tragedy into an opportunity to serve others like her with spinal cord injury. So I just have a short message. What Preeti has set up is the Soul Free Trust and the Inspire Center at Tiruvannamalai in South India, which is the first of its kind for an integrated rehabilitation center. Most of the time, when a person has an accident or has a spinal cord injury, the medical part of it is taken care of, and the person is sent home. But rehab is a huge neglected area, and that is where Soul Free has set up the Inspire Center, where we have more than 15 different kinds of therapies, which of course includes the traditional one of physiotherapy and occupational therapy, but also Ayurveda and naturopathy, and vocational training to help these individuals to go back and lead a meaningful life as a valuable part of our society. So I have a small message from Preeti, which I would just like to read out, or if possible, just have it on the audio. It should be okay. It's a very small 1 minute. So should I just read it out?
We can try using the hand mic, but I'm not too sure if the
Audio would. Should I try?
Let's try.
Okay.
Of Soul Free Tiruvannamalai, persons with spinal cord injury are often invisible in our society, and women with spinal cord injury and any other significant impairments are really treated like the untouchables of India. We are not given our basic rights to education and employment and a right to a life of dignity and purpose. So Soul Free, an organization that has been working for nearly 11 years now, is trying to restore that life to dignity. We are providing rehabilitation and other services to ensure that they have the support system they need. And somehow we have been blessed with many awards, a lot of respect from society. And this recognition gives me today the voice to be their face and voice. And I hope that all of you will join our efforts to make the invisibles of India visible again and restore their life of dignity and purpose. Thank you.
What you all missed was the lovely smile with which she has sent this message to all of us.
So I just started off by saying that she very much wanted to be here. However, for, I don't know, various reasons, it was not possible. The organizers were not able to arrange for her transport and stay in Bombay. And though I'm very honored to be here to receive this award on her behalf, it really saddens me that people with disabilities are not provided enough support. We as a society have not provided enough support to give them a fair platform. We recognize and celebrate what she has been doing, but unfortunately we have not been able to support her to be present today. So I feel very sad about it, but I'm honored to be here to receive this award on her behalf. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, on to the runner-up now. She started with limited literacy, and from there she became a driving force in mobilizing female sex workers to unite under the Disha Mahila Bachat Ghat, a self-help group established in the year 2006. And through her efforts, she has empowered countless women by empowering them and improving their access to healthcare, financial independence and literacy, and social inclusion. And the runner-up is...
The runner-up is Lata Mane.
यहाँ पे बैठे सभी भाई बंधुओं को बहनों को मेरा नमस्कार। मेरा नाम लता माने है और गए महीने में मैं गुजरात गई थी। वी सेवर इंडिया की तरफ से मुझे अवार्ड मिला था और लायंस नेशनल के लिए शुक्रगुजार हूँ। मेरा थोड़ा हिंदी मराठी कच्चा है, मैं कर्नाटकी हूँ। मैं महिला बचत गट का काम करती हूँ जो मैं HIV एड्स की संस्था में काम करती हूँ, जहाँ पे सेक्स वर्कर महिलाएं हैं, बार गर्ल्स है, होम बेस है, कैटरेस में काम पे जाते हैं, जो घर परिवार चलाना पड़ता है तो उनको पैसे की ज़रूरत रहती है, घर में किसी को पता नहीं रहता तो ऐसे काम करने जाते हैं, महिलाएं छुप के जाते हैं, तो उनके लिए हम काम करते हैं। मैं काउंसलर का काम करती हूँ। मैं 2002 से इस संस्था से जुड़ी हूँ। मैं खुद एक सेक्स वर्कर थी पहले। 7 साल तक मैंने खुद मेरे देह को मैंने बेचा है। उसके बाद में मैंने एक विजय क्रीड़ा मंडल के संस्था में जॉइंट होकर काम करने लगी। मेरे को 2 बेटियां भी है। मैं वहाँ से निकल गई। मैं खुद के लिए मैं अपने पैरों पे खड़ी हो गई, लेकिन मेरे जैसे हज़ारों लाखों बहनें हैं जो उस दलदल में फंसी है। उनको कैसे निकालने का, क्या करने का, उसके बारे में सोच नहीं। मैं कभी स्कूल नहीं देखा है, लेकिन अभी मैं काउंसलर का काम करती हूँ। जो 20 साल तक इस संस्था से जुड़ के मैं थोड़ा बहुत सीखा है। इसी दौरान मैंने 2007 में एक बचत घर तैयार किया उसी एरिया के महिलाओं को लेके, जहाँ अपना गुजारा करने के लिए धंधा करते हैं या सेक्स वर्कर का काम करते हैं। कोई मजबूरी से आया, किसी ने बेच के गया, खुद मुझे भी बेच के गया है मेरा पति। 2 बच्चे होने के बाद में मैं 2 बच्चों को लेके मैं मेरा परिवरिश करती हूँ उनकी, तो उनके लिए मैं काम करती हूँ। मेरा बचत घर का भी काम है। हमारा उन महिलाओं के लिए एक आश्रम बांध रहे हैं हम लोग कनकोली में, जो 40 साल के बाद में उनको कोई कस्टमर नहीं पूछता है, उनके पास पैसा नहीं रहता है, तो वो रास्ते पे गिर के मर जाते हैं। और उनके औलाद को, उनके बच्चों को हम फ़ोन करके बोलते हैं कि तुम्हारी मम्मी का तबीयत ऐसा हो गया है, वो HIV पॉजिटिव हो गई है, उसको सिफिलिस हुआ है, हर्पिस हुआ है, तो वो बच्चों का जवाब वहाँ से सामने आता है। हम नहीं जानते उनको, हम नहीं पहचानते। जब तक वो कमा रहे थे तब तक उसका पैसा तुम ले सकता परिवार, जब वो बीमार पड़ जाते तो उसको कोई लेने को नहीं आता है। तो वैसे में 15 से 16 डेड बॉडी मैंने खुद उठाई है, मेरे डॉक्यूमेंट्स जमा करके, मेरे संस्था का डॉक्यूमेंट्स जमा करके, उनके महिलाओं के बच्चों की भी शादी करके दिया है। तो ऐसा कल जाके और से महिलाएं रास्ते पे ना गिर पड़े, लावारिस में नहीं मरे, इसके लिए हम लोग मतलब हमारी जगह है संस्था के वहाँ पे वृद्धाश्रम का काम चालू है, वो काम कर रहे हैं वहाँ उनको रखने के लिए। तो बस मैं इतना कहना चाहती हूँ कि बचत घर की तरफ से उनको थोड़ी मदद मिली है, हम सब लोगों को मिलकर थोड़ा मदद करें। और कहीं भी किसी की नज़र में कोई ऐसी लड़की दिखती है छोटे उम्र के, इस जगह में जा रही है और सब प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तो तुरंत आप उसको सेव कर सकते हैं, अच्छी जगह में भेज सकते हैं, चिल्लर रूम में भेज सकते हैं। बस इतना ही कहना था मेरे को।
Going through a personal emergency, health emergency in the family, but she has still made time for all of us. A big round of applause for this woman. Now for the final category, waste reduction and recycling. It celebrates trailblazers redefining sustainability through innovative waste management and recycling solutions. And by championing eco-friendly practices, they are shaping a cleaner, greener future for each and every one of us. A relentless advocate for sustainable living, our winner tonight has transformed waste segregation from a household chore into a movement. And by bridging the gap between awareness and action, she is paving the way for a more sustainable urban future. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the category.
In the category Waste Reduction and Recycling, the winner is Janani Venkatesh.
Good evening, everyone. It was a lovely evening. I'll just quickly take a moment to thank Forbes India and Lions International. Though waste reduction and recycling has come last, I've also come last here. It has been the last priority in many of the occasions. Quickly, I would like to put across this message because there was a lot of talk on CSR funds. I would request companies, organizations to prioritize or give importance for funding waste reduction or solid waste management as part of their CSR funds, because usually when it is environment, it is taken as either tree plantation or ocean cleanups, which is also important, I agree, but more focus on solid waste management would be great. Thank you so much once again, Forbes and Lions International, for this lovely evening. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, the final award of the night, the runner-up in this category, waste reduction and recycling. While turning waste into opportunity, our runner-up has kept 6 lakhs kg of waste out of landfills and generated 10,000 kilograms of compost annually. And her RRR center repurposes 30 tons of materials while driving disaster relief, menstrual hygiene, and water conservation efforts. The winner is...
The runner-up is Dr. Ruby Makija.
Thank you so much, Forbes India and Lions Club International. This really, truly is a great honor for me. I would just add to what Janani's just said. She's just echoed my voice. All I need to add is, rather than waiting for the change, let's be the change and heal the world, and Lions known for that. Thank you so very much.
A very big congratulations to you. Thank you, gentlemen. But Tarun, I'm going to catch you because I have questions for you. Thank you, sir. A lot of people would love to know about Koto and how it actually empowers women community. And when I was looking at all the awards, I could see a resonance that all of these women are working together in communities, together without technology, but the whole aspiration of making things even faster and quicker in terms of impact can be achieved with technology. How is a platform like yours enabling that?
So, first of all, sorry I couldn't make it for the Fireside. It was just, I think this city has more traffic than you ever anticipate. I think Koto, which stands for Come Together, is an incredible opportunity for us to be able to put women together in spaces and places where they can collaborate and to be able to create magic. I saw most of the women winners here were women, which was like really incredible to see that they're putting out, such great effort in doing things that maybe men don't do or don't care for as much as they should. So what have we done? We've really created a platform which allows for women communities to get created, and then over a period of time we've built a emotional wellness space, which is really a 24/7 real-time consultation space where when she spoke about women, sex workers, it's really, think of it as the old days helpline, but in today's day and age, it is thousands of wellness experts, emotional wellness experts across many categories available to you to talk to at any given time. And they're almost at the starting point free, and then as you move across the ladder, you pay per minute. But really, the platform is all about making sure that this world of anxiety, depression, this world of, huge amount of mental illnesses, I would call them, right, and mental stress that we live in, is recognized, is accepted, and is normalized, right? And if you have somebody to talk to at any given time, 24/7, then you're able to actually introspect, come to terms with it, and to be able to build a healthy life around yourself. Because the problem is in our relationships, right? The key to all of this and all the research we can see is, whether it's men or whether it's women, is our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with everybody else is becoming dysfunctional. Much like our relationship with the environment, our relationship with just the world around us, right? And the sooner we can work towards sorting this dysfunctional relationship, the better our life is going to be. And if we can find somebody to help us along the way, then there's nothing like it.
You spoke about creating safer communities earlier. Earlier in one of the panels, there was a young delegate who spoke about harassment online, and she spoke about how we need safe spaces. One of the things that Koto is also achieving with that is creating safe spaces for women. Can you speak about that? And why was it important for it to be a very only women kind of a platform?
So my story is very personal, like her, right? My wife, who's a media person and, and takes a stand on many things, actually has gotten trolled many times online, right? And I realized that the way social media fabric is built is that it isn't really a space where women will be vulnerable, will be honest, and will be talk about issues that matter to them. And so we wanted to create a safe that was really at the starting point safe for them. And we've used AI as a tool. So every woman that onboards on the platform does facial recognition, through which we do gender verification. And so it's the community space on the platform is a women's only space. And so you can talk about it, you can speak about it, and really, you have your own kind around it. Also, when we do the live consultation piece, Mugdha, a lot of women choose to actually allow themselves to be heard as well as to be seen while they're asking their questions and being answered by other women. And we were very surprised, right, that they're choosing that mode of video and audio, not private audio and private video to do these consults. And when we went and spoke to them, they said, listen, you know, we are going through what we're going through. And when you guys are helping us, we also want others to be able to hear and get inspired that all of us to seek help at some point in time. And emotional wellness is a key need, and all of us should try as much as possible. And, you know, our relationship coaches actually do a lot of these video calls. And a lot of other women who would have never thought they're going to ask these questions end up talking about and being vulnerable about what they are going through themselves.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right, with that, we are wrapping up the evening. Congratulations to all the winners. Absolutely, your hard work and dedication has truly paid off. May I request all of you to please come on stage for a photo op. All the winners and the runners-up, please do come here. All right, before we get everybody on the stage, I'll quickly invite V. Vijay Kumar, Lion Kumar, to please come here and give the closing address. I couldn't have missed it.
Thank you. Good evening, esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries, fellow Lions. Tonight has been a celebration of service, impact, and dedication. Our awardees are beacons of hope, providing that commitment and compassion can transform lives and uplift communities. From education and healthcare to environment and sustainability and women's empowerment, we have seen how service shapes a better, a more inclusive world. As Lions, we believe that where there is a need, there is a lion. But tonight, we have also seen the power of vision, collaboration, and unwavering determination. This is more than just a recognition. This is a call to action. To our awardees, to your awardees, your work inspires us, and to our partners, TV18, Forbes India, and fellow Lions. We are standing with you. Let us carry this energy forward, amplify our impact, and ensure that service remains as the heart of everything we do. Together we serve, together we empower, together we build a better India. Thank you. We have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much. Thank you,
I would now like to request all the winners and runners-up to please come on stage for a photo op. And as we come to the end of this evening, we reflect on the stories of resilience, innovation, selfless service that has been celebrated here tonight. To all awardees, your dedication is inspirational. To our partners, Lions Clubs International, our distinguished jury, and everyone who made this event possible, a very, very, very big thank you. Let's continue to serve, to uplift, and to build a more stronger, compassionate, resilient India. Thank you, and good night.